Hi folks, CodeTutor here and my name is Anil Deshpande. Hi folks, welcome to another video on CodeTutor, and with this we will be actually starting Android versioning series. Anybody who has done Android application development would be very familiar with it. We will get started with very basic understanding what is Android application version and version code mean. But then as the series progresses, we will try to establish a versioning strategy and a versioning policy. This is actually a part of Android CICD series, and it is continuation of Android build types, which we had just completed a couple of weeks back. If you recall, Android applications, all Android applications that you install on your emulator, or even for that matter, anything that you install through the App Store, have version code and version name. And it is actually declared in the build.gradle.kts file. So let's have a look at the code and try to understand how to use it and how to access it in the application's UI. As you can see here, I have created a simple application here. It is nothing but an empty application as of now. It is not displaying anything. In the build.gradle.kts file, we have a default config, and you can see there is a version code and version name. And I want to basically right now display that in the application here. For that, I will have to enable the build config. So let me come down here, and under the build features, there is something called as build config, and let me enable it equals to true. That means from now on, a build config object would get created whenever the application gets compiled. And then now let me go to the main activity and try to render this particular information in the main activity. For that, I will have to create a composable function that will be something like this, version info, and it will be a composable function. Let me fix the imports, and then it is time to use this version info. Let me go up here just after the greetings. Let me show this and let me rerun the application. Yeah, as you can see that now I am able to see the version code and version name. Now let's fiddle with these numbers and see what happens, because what I basically want to demonstrate is change the version code and version name and then see what is the behavior that we are seeing. So let's do that. I will come here and I will change it to 2 and rerun the application, and you should start seeing the version name 2. And if I change it to 3, you should be able to see the new version name. This version name is string. It can be anything. As you can see that it is written under double quotes. As long as it is a string, Android system doesn't care. It can be anything. For example, I can write Kill Bill here and run this. It will still perfectly show that particular string. But of course, Kill Bill won't make any sense when you are basically trying to keep track of your versions. So something very easy to understand should be good enough. What about the version code? That should always be an integer. I cannot write any string here. That will not work. And it cannot be even a ASCII value. It has to be a integer. And every time you want to bump up the version number, this version code, which is an integer value, should keep going up. It cannot come down. For example, let me make the version code as 2 and sync now and try to run this. You should see the version code equals to 2 and version name equals to 1.1. And I can make it version name is equal to 1.1 and version code equal to 3. It should be perfectly fine. And this should work without any problem. And now let's assume that I change this to 0. It doesn't matter. It should work without any problem, because the version name, no matter how you change, Android system doesn't care. However, if I reduce the version code from 3 to 2, you will start seeing a slight behavior change. So let me run this, observe what is happening. It is saying that application installation failed. The device already has a newer version of the application. That is, right now on the emulator, I had already installed a application with version code 3. In order to proceed, you will have to uninstall the existing application. So what it is basically complaining is you cannot update the application with version code which is lower than what it is right now. So you can't update version code from 3 to 2. From 3 to 4, it is possible. From 4 to 5, it is possible. But once you go up, you can't come down. And this is a very important information that you need to be aware of when working with Android application development. Version name can be anything. It is like for us humans to understand what version name basically means. But version code has to be an integer, and every time you want to release a new update of the existing version of the application, it has to be a updated number. It cannot be lower number. But can you keep the same number and change the version name? That is fine. That should be perfectly fine. Let me show you. So let me go ahead and say okay. That basically means it is uninstalling the application, the old application, and reinstalling the new one. So that is why now you are seeing the version code 2. But I will keep the version code 2 and version name, bump it up by some value. This should work perfectly fine. This is not a problem. As you can see, this worked perfectly fine. So this is a very basic understanding of how Android versions work. But there is an option to refine this further by bringing in a bit of better isolation in how we manage our versioning of the Android application. That we shall see in the next video. So stay tuned. That brings us to the end of this particular video. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye.